Kingdom. It's the opening race of Season 5.5 in Turbo Racing League. And good evening to you all, everyone. I'm Mr. Storm, joined in the commentary box this evening by Titan. Titan, it's set to be an absolutely fascinating season, a calendar picked by the teams and the drivers, a completely new point system, a couple of new rules and regulations, and a couple of stipulations at Monaco. It's going to be a fantastic season, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely hope so. There's a lot of changes to points, especially, and also, obviously, teams and drivers had input such big races on calendar, and hopefully this will show some amazing races.
And into the final three corners, it's the left-right chicane followed by the flat-out final corner. Third gear for the first two parts. And up towards the line, it looks like it's going to be a decent lap, and it's a 1 minute 26.165. The top of the timesheets. Next up is Dennis reserving for Ferrari tonight. In the case of Hecaron, he goes into second with a 1 minute 30.017. Not a representative time whatsoever there. Misha, who's reserving for Ryu Zappi tonight in Red Bull, goes into second, 1 minute 27.118. And next up is the Alpine. Is there an Alpine coming towards the line? No, it's a Williams. It's Spike. He also goes into the 1 minute 30s. Let's see, who else is coming across the line now? I believe Wes Streezy's on a flying run. Yes, he is. But we are going to ride on board at the moment. Chris Rahman goes into second as I say that. We're going to ride on board now with the Haas of Mr. Business take us through the final couple of corners of his lap, Titan.
Yeah, so around we go. Now down the hill to the very few final corners. Getting it good on the curbing. Trying to ride the curbing as much as possible. Keeping within the white lines. Keeping it through. Put on the gas and there we go.
1 minute. Oh, and Oscar goes quickest, just as I was about to say what Mr. Business's time was. And Oscar, who's got such a good record in qualifying in TRL, goes right to the top of the timesheets with a 1 minute 26.028 in his first race for McLaren. Big statement there. Westreezy's the first of the top 7 to come up to the line, and he is going to go all the way into third position, and what a great lap from him. Bottas was 7,000ths of a second down the middle sector. He finds himself a 10th up now, but Oscar is improving by 2.5 tenths. He still finds himself improving by 2.5 tenths. So it is going to be a battle that takes us all the way to the end of this session. Bottas sliding slightly through Stowe Corner as he's invalidated his lap. And that surely gives it now to Oscar as he flicks it left, then right again. Mission for tight. Oscar slides! And Oscar won't improve. Magnesheep goes third, but Oscar somehow holds on to pole position, Titan.
Yeah, that was very dramatic.
Indeed it was. Goodness me. Here's your qualifying order for the first race of the season, and Oscar gets it by a 10th of a second from Valtteri Bottass in second. Magnesheep was third, Westreezy in fourth, Asetok fifth, with Thomas in sixth. Chris Rahman was seventh for Williams. Smartcheck, Mr. Business, and Bobo rounding out the top 10. Misha had an incident with his teammate. He starts 11th with a 5-place grid penalty. Kazoo is in 12th. Sam Rose couldn't get it together. He starts 13th in his first race for Ferrari with Spike, Dennis, and Racing Diabetes rounding out the grid. It's going to be a rainy one at Silverstone. The British Grand Prix is live and uninterrupted. And of course, it's next. I hope you're all excited at home, because I certainly am, and I hope Titan is as well. So for the first time this season, we are ready to go racing for the British Grand Prix. We go to 1, we go to 2, 3, 4, and 5 red lights for the opening race of Season 5.5. The British Grand Prix is underway, and it's a good launch from the pole sitter Oscar, who's going to get the whole shot down into turn 1. Valtteri Bottass hasn't had the worst launch in the world either, and it's single file as they all go through turn number 1. Doesn't look like there's many collisions going on in the back, but Oscar leads that as they head down towards Village and then down towards the loop. Oscar leads the British Grand Prix from Valtteri Bottass in second, Magnesheep third, Westreezy in fourth. Thomas has rose up to 5th with Smartcheck in 6th. Asetok's dropped down from 5th to 7th. Mr. Business and Bob are going wheel to wheel as they head down the Hangar Straight, or the Wellington Straight I should say, for the first time in this race. Oscar leads it by 3 tenths from Valtteri Bottass. Good start for him, Tyson.
Yeah, definitely good start indeed, and already, people took positions. Asetok has dropped down.
Yeah, Sam Rose as well has at the start of his life as well. Sam Rose started in 15th position. He's now up to 10th. What a great start for the man in Ferrari. He said he had no grip whatsoever during qualifying. He goes around the outside of Bobo, and he's into 9th going through Cop's Corner. But already the conditions have been very challenging for a lot of people, Tyson, as everyone's just trying to find a bit of grip. been getting very close though, Titan, and he's closed up a huge amount of distance through turn number 1 and 2. That's led him to have a great run down into turn 3. He dives up the inside, they make contact! And thankfully, they don't go spinning into a slide. Very, very lucky, Titan.
Absolutely, as Bottass is even though it's happening, he's still right up there, right behind.
And he'll have another great chance as they head down the Wellington Straight towards Brooklands. He's going to have to go the long way around the outside, which will correlate to the inside for Luffield. But he just understeers and he can't get past, but he's gaining so much time on Oscar, Titan.
Absolutely, he's right there. It's just the time he tried there didn't work. You know, both nearly span. But it's very close, and obviously Bottass clearly wanting that position.
Thomas and Kazoo fighting for a position of P9, and Thomas has actually got not the worst run in the world on Sam Rose. Sam Rose is giving him an inch. Thomas might take a mile coming into Cops. Too far back in the end. Sam Rose running slightly wide there, Titan. Here comes Kazoo going around the outside into Maggots and Beckett's. This is certainly a risky move, but he's going to get it done. Oh, Thomas goes right off the track!
Oh dear.
Goodness me. There is the small chance that we could have a dry ending to this race, but we're not even halfway yet. But so far, the opening 9 or so laps have provided us with an incredible battle between the two championship rivals from Season 5, bringing their rivalry over to Season 5.5, and Bottass for the first time leads the British Grand Prix as we head into double figures for this Grand Prix. Magnesheep goes and sets the fastest lap of the race, 1:37.640. Let's go to the battle though for 8th position, where Thomas is going right alongside Sam Rose. I think I saw a front wing end plate go off there. Kazoo might have a chance to back into the two of them. Of course, he won last week's Brazilian Grand Prix after penalties. Thomas goes up the inside into turn 1. Can't get the move done. Kazoo is getting very close as they head down towards Village and then towards the loop. Titan, if you're in that hassle at the moment, how do you feel? What's going through your head?
I mean, obviously he wants to get a high position, but also needs to calculate the perfect moment to strike as Sam Rose gets back past Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas sending it up very irrationally there. I think Kazoo was the guy who lost the front wing end plate, though. Sam Rose defending like his life depends on it. Thomas had to go from the inside to the outside, and he's going to try and do what Bottass did to Oscar in the last lap. Oscar's retook the lead of the race, but here comes Valtteri Bottass up the inside into Stowe. But thankfully, they don't crash. As I say, up the inside into Cop's corner, I should say. Oscar decides to pit, and after running wide at Cop's corner earlier on in the lap, Oscar makes the surprise decision to pit, Tyson.
Yeah, I mean, one of them is going to pit eventually, but Oscar's the one to do it first.
Bottass finding pace, 1:37.399. Magnesheep can only go a 10.5 slower than that, as Oscar will pit. What's he going to head on to? Of course, another set of intermediate spikes out of the race. And we have a safety car, and Oscar's pitted at the worst possible time, Tyson.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. I'm not sure how close he was to Dennis at the time. I don't think he was close to Dennis. I'm not too sure.
So we have our first retirement of the season. Spike brings the field down to 15 drivers, and Oscar has pitted the worst possible time. The safety car now deployed out onto the track. We're going to be neutralized for just a couple of moments. Valtteri Bottass leads it from Magnesheep in second, and Smolchek is in third position. And Magnesheep following him as well, so we'll find out when Bottass puts the foot right back to the floor. There he goes, and we're underway in race again. Magnesheep backs up the field. Spike is disconnected. Oh, Spike has actually left the session now after retiring, but Magnesheep getting the perfect restart for the two kick sabers as Valtteri Bottass leads us to green flag racing. Sliding out of the final corner onto the Hamilton straight, but it's a kick saber 1-2 heading into the final 11 laps of racing. Oscar finds himself in third position. How important is it that he gets past Magnesheep quickly, Tyson?
Absolutely. If he wants a chance, then he's definitely going to have to try.
Well, he was in the lead for the most of the early portion of this race. Lost the lead a couple of laps ago, then made the decision to pit. We thought it was a bad one when the safety car came out. He's found his way back into third position. His teammate Smolchek is in fourth, but Valtteri Bottass pulls out a 1-second lead at the beginning of the second half of this race. Magnesheep is in second, Oscar third, with Smolchek in fourth position. Kazoo has got not the best, I should say not the best, he has had a decent run coming out of Luffield. He's in 10th position at the moment. He's actually got a great run coming down towards Stowe Corner. He's going to go to the inside. Oh, big crash! What on earth is Misha doing, Tyson?
I don't know, that's obvious fault. Misha should not be closing the gap like that, especially when already alongside that's definitely going to be reported and looked at by the stewards.
Terrible, terrible defending. There's a yellow flag coming out of Maggots and Beckett's. I'm not sure what that is for, but Misha and Kazoo coming together, and Thomas rising into 9th position, albeit the fact he does have a penalty. So we're going to find out who is going to pit, who's going to stay out. Would it be a good decision to pit right about now, Titan?
I mean, it depends, as yes, it does look like he's pitting.
Will Magnusheep follow him? No, Magnusheep will stay out, and that's in order not to lose time. So Smotchek and Magnusheep will stay out as Oscar pits, so the first and third place drivers will be going on to the dry tyres for the last 5 or so laps of this race. And it's going to be the soft compound tyre for both of them, Titan.
Yeah, and Thomas stays out as well.
That's very interesting, so we'll see whether Magnusheep and Smotchek will be able to stay out without causing too much trouble. Balbo's decided to stay out as well. So for those staying out in the intermediate compound tyre, how much of a risk are they taking, Titan?
I mean, they're going to catch up pretty quickly, especially if sliding and making a lot of mistakes, just trying to get into the pits.
Yellow flag, and I believe Mr. Business has spun off. Yes, he has. Mr. Business is on the softs and a spun coming out of the pit lane. He's got no traction whatsoever, Titan. What's happening to him?
I have no clue. Maybe the white line, no grip. I'm not too sure on the pit exit.
Interesting enough, Bottass went on to the mediums here, and he's struggling for grip as well.
Mr. Business is Mr. Implic, so maybe he hit the pit wall.
I just about noticed that, but I went to talk to you instead. Oh, Oscar's gone off the track! There is no grip! They've pitted far too early! No grip at all, Tyson.
Yeah, it looks dry, but this game can, tell a lot of lies sometimes.
It deceives, and now Magnusheep and Smolchek stay out for yet another lap. And it's all about to get very interesting indeed as Balbo decides to take the risk to pit. So Thomas stays on the intermediate, so does Asatok, but Valtteri Bottass on the medium compound tyre is struggling for grip, but crucially, if the front two pit, he would come out in the lead, or he would regain the lead. Kazoo picks up a 3-second time penalty. Thomas goes past Balbo, who's gone onto that soft compound tyre, but now it's just a battle to see whether you can remain on the track with 5 laps to go. Coming through Aintree, and here comes Smotchek. He's going to have a great chance to take the lead of the British Grand Prix coming down into Brooklands, but Magnusheep holds firm. Smotchek dives up the inside. Magnusheep's giving him room. Smotchek leads the race as Magnusheep goes sliding off, Tyson.
Yeah, not the best moment for Magnusheep there to get the slide, and Smotchek seems to have most confidence in the tyres.
As we head towards the final lap, it is Smotchek versus Magnusheep for the Grand Prix victory. Smotchek leads us to that white flag, and it's now just 18 corners separating him between surefire victory after being denied last week in the final race of Season 5 via penalties. Can he do it, Titan?
I mean, it seems so. I mean, it's last lap. Yeah, everyone's been pushing the hardest now.
So can Magnusheep find the pace? Can he find the time? Can he find the grip that he needs? Balbo sets the fastest lap of the race. 1 minute 34.821 on the soft compound tyre, taking it off Valtteri Bottass, the reigning and defending champion, who was caught out by going on to the medium compound tyre. It hasn't worked out for him, but it has worked out for the 4 who have all stayed on the intermediate compound. So can Magnusheep find the pace he needs? The gap goes down to 3/10 as they head through Copse Corner for the final time. What a run from Magnusheep, Tyson!
Yeah, absolutely. Smotchek slides. That's not the run he needed. Is now within 2/10 of Smotchek. Magnusheep right there, right behind, saving all that battery up for the final push. Maggots and Beckett's done and negotiated for the final time in this race. It's now or never for Magnusheep. He's going to have to go around the outside. Coming into Stowe Corner. Magnusheep goes right around the outside. Can he get the move done? No, he can't. Smotchek holds on. Magnusheep dives up the inside, but Smotchek holds on to the place. They both slide, coming through Vale for the final time. Then it's towards Club, but Smotchek wins the British Grand Prix. Magnusheep crashes across the line in second. It will be Thomas who comes home in third.
But what a brilliant Grand Prix, Titan. Asatok is 4th, but Bottas will finish 4th via penalties. Smocek just about holding on, Titan.
Yeah, that's just one of what was up for Smugsack, you know. Hopefully he doesn't get any penalties or anything like that.
Just like he did last week. What a brilliant ending to that race. Magnussen cruelly denied. Nothing he could do to stop Smocek defending like an absolute beast. And he wins the 2nd race in TRL. Denied last week, hopefully not denied this week. Great win for him. And the champagne will fly for the first time this season, but it is a McLaren on top of the world. As Smocek takes the first victory of season 5.5. And once again, he's doing a strange dance as the bubbly flies for the first time this season. They don't even have the officially licensed British Grand Prix. That's quite sad. Race order for the first time this season, then Smocek takes it after 45 minutes 16 seconds and a tenth of a second of absolutely brilliant racing. Magnussen finishes 2nd for Kicksauber, with Thomas 3rd for Red Bull rounding out the podium. Valtteri Bottass had it in the palm of his hand, but he threw it away due to eventually a poor decision strategy-wise. He finishes 4th, with Balbo in 5th for Mercedes. Oscar was 6th for McLaren in his first race for the team. Asatok down from 5th to 7th for Racing Bulls. Sam rose from 12th to 8th, finishing there for his first race for Ferrari, picking up 3 points. The points scoring positions finished by Westrizi and Kazoo, 9th and 10th for RB and Haas respectively. Misha was 11th after reserving for Red Bull this weekend. Chris Rahman 12th. Mr. Business, Dennis, and Racing Diabetes rounding out the field with Spike, our only DNF. From Silverstone, what an opening race of the season it was. There was drama, there was controversy, and there was a little bit of strategy involved in it as well. But somehow, someway, Smocek finds the way to win the British Grand Prix. After starting 8th from the grid, he stuck it out with Magnussen, he defended until the last, and he takes the first victory of Season 5.5, and inevitably, takes the lead of the championship standings. What a brilliant race it was. And we have got 7 Grand Prix left in F1 24 to decide the destiny of the Season 5.5 crown. And it looks like this title race is open for the taking wherever you look. 7 races left at Zandvoort next week for the first time in a long time. We go right there in TRL. And I'll hopefully be back with Titan and potentially Jamboy next week. So from all of us here, thank you very much for your company. From Silverstone, what a race. And for Zandvoort, beat that. Thanks for your company. Bye.